Alan Peter Cayetano explains the need for the Duterte administration to weigh in the strategies recommended by Associate Justice Antonio Carpio to address the Philippines' territorial dispute with China. Rosalie Coz will tell us why.
Senator Alan Peter Cayetano gives assurance that President Rodrigo Duterte has no plans of giving up the Philippines territory. This has been the senator's response to Supreme Court Associate Justice Antonio Carpio's pronouncement that the president should never make statements that may seem to hint that the Philippines is surrendering its sovereignty over its rightful territories in the West Philippine Sea.
Let me just assure Justice Carpio and Filipinos who are watching over the West Philippine Sea issue that the President is doing everything he can, and he will not give up a single square inch or square centimeter of our territory.
Cayetano says he recognizes the contribution of Carpio to defend the rights of the country over its territory in the West Philippine Sea. However, the senator noted that the strategies or option recommended by the Supreme Court Justice, like the filing of a diplomatic protest against China, sending of Navy patrols to Scarborough Shoal, asking the United States to help declare the area as territory of the Philippines, and accept U.S. offer for a joint naval patrol in South China Sea.
We need people like Justice Carpio to continue to guide, to ask hard questions, diba? But if you look at the 5 steps that he wants, some of them are purely legal, some are purely diplomatic, but some are a matter of strategy and geopolitics, diba? That the administration has to weigh at this period in time. Kasi what could have been valid during the last 6 years and good for the country in the last 6 years, diba? Kasi when you implement ang strategy, iba yung first 5, iba yung last 2 minutes eh.
Meanwhile, Acting Foreign Affairs Secretary Enrique Manalo says the Department of Foreign Affairs has yet to determine the action it will take on the reported plan of China to build structures on one of the disputed territories in the South China Sea, the Scarborough or Panatag Shoal. Manalo says no further action will be taken pending China's response to the Philippines government's request for a clarification on the matter.
Justice Carpio has been very involved in this issue. I think he's very knowledgeable, and he has proposed certain options, but those options will only swing in under certain conditions. But as of now, that's why it's really very difficult to comment on them, and all we can really do is wait for China's clarification on the reported plan.
Cayetano, the rumored next DFA secretary, meanwhile explains his reasons for talking about Philippines foreign affairs and his side on the reports that he will be the next DFA secretary. The senator explains he has more freedom to talk than other officials under the executive branch. He stresses that his talking has nothing to do with him being the next DFA secretary. Currently, he is the chairperson of the Senate Committee on Foreign Relations.
Mas free ako magsalita about foreign relations being in the legislative branch. Mas nakakapagsalita talaga yung outside the DFA, because yung sa DFA, each and every word na sabihin yan ay scrutinize ng lahat ng diplomats around the world. So kahit sino, kahit kung ako or ibang tao malagay sa DFA, limited din talaga pwedeng sabihin. No?
Cayetano also says he is preparing for whatever lies ahead, adding that he's leaving to the president the decision on whether or not to appoint him as the next DFA secretary. Rosalie Coz, UNTV News and Rescue, Bangkok, Thailand.